All right, of course, it's the big story we're tracking for you, that operation at Stilfontein Mine, which is now in phase 2. And of course, throughout the afternoon, we'll get you coverage from Ziniko Mhlaba, who is our reporter on the scene. Now, some residents in Diepkloof, Soweto, are calling for an immediate halt to operations at all spaza shops until the provincial government implements the regulations outlined by President Cyril Ramaphosa. In the latest spate of contamination deaths in children, 5-year-old Siyabonga Mnisi died this week, also reportedly after eating snacks from a nearby shop. 4 other children from the area who also ate similar items are still in hospital. Newzroom Afrika's Veronica Mogwadi is following that story, and she joins us now live. Veronica, you were telling us about the memorial service which was underway at this little boy's school. Where are you now?
Well, Michelle, I can tell you that we heard some moving tributes coming from the residents here in Diepkloof, as well as the teachers, as they relayed their condolences to the Mnisi family, giving them support. We also heard from members of a local church who prayed for the family, but also prayed for what has now been classified as a national disaster in regards to what we've been seeing in terms of the spiking cases of foodborne illnesses. I am joined, of course, by the principal of the school who put together this very moving memorial service. We understand, of course, Ahmed, that this incident did not happen on school premises, but he was one of your pupils, a grade R learner. Just tell us a little bit about the tributes that we heard from the teachers and who Siyabonga Mnisi was, even as a young 5-year-old boy in class.
Good morning, madam. Siyabonga Mnisi is one of our great R learners. He was around to graduate. Today, supposed to be their graduation ceremony here at school, but unfortunately we postponed everything. So today we're gathering here to make a small memorial service for Siyabonga. Siyabonga was a very humble person. Loved to work with other kids, loved to play, always wearing a smile, always. I did not remember even a single day whereby the teacher came to the class, to my office saying that Siyabonga did that. No, he was just a very, very, very smart child. Yes.
And I can imagine for the schooling community, we've been seeing the news that has been happening across the country of the young children that we are losing. Just as a school, your concerns in regards to what's happening, even though this is usually outside of the schooling premises?
We are really heartbroken as the school. We are really heartbroken. But through the support that we received from the community, from the councillor, from the Department of Education, we are almost there. We are trying to make it. But it's just something that we can't even say it. It's just a shock. Because these kids were almost 4, because the 3 are already hospitalized. Siyabonga passed on.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Michelle, if you allow me, I'm going to bring in the Department of Education, and that is Steve Mabona here, the spokesperson, who also was among those to relay their condolences to the family. Steve, thank you for your time. As a department, I'm sure you've been dealing with these cases throughout. The same question keeps being asked: when will this come to an end? As the department, the efforts that you have taken, of course, to remove the sale of some of these goods in the premises of schools and around, but there still seems to be an issue that we are grappling with.
Yeah, thanks very much. Remember, when we stopped the sale of food in our schools, we had some vendors marching to say we took a draconian decision. But for us, it was preventative more than anything. And, well, we had to then wait for the president to pronounce. We now opened again, but gave them, guidelines on how they need to operate. So that's the least that we can do as the department, control the space that we operate in. But when it moves beyond our control, goes at home, then other structures, other government departments and other entities, municipal offices, officials, they need then to what is expected out of them.
Yeah. We heard the Minister of Education yesterday during that briefing in regards to the implementation of the regulations that you've spoken about given by the President, talking about the removal of pesticides around school premises. Do you think this is enough, and how will your department be rolling this out?
Remember, we have nutrition program that we facilitate in all our schools, or mostly, the no-fee paying schools. And we have issued guidelines which are informed by a circular that was then circulated by the Department of Basic Education. So at the operational level, we had to say, here's the circular, what is it that the DB is saying? And all those guidelines have been given to all our schools on how to manage food, and also how to react in terms of the protocols in the event of any incident, whether you continue the following day, feeding children, or what is it that you need to do. There are steps on them to follow. This is what you need to do before then you move and feed our children in the event there's an allegation that the foodborne illness might have been emanating from the food that we serve. So we will make sure that we manage as per the guidelines.
Yeah. And just a final one, Stephen, as you've spoken to the family, just seeing the mother and the father there sitting in shock, and I'm sure seeing the other school pupils here reminding them of their own child. Just as a department, what are the messages that you shared to the Mnisi family?
Quite somber. But we conveyed our condolences to the family and reassured them, since the MEC of Finance and Economic Development has announced that we're going to be assisting the family. There's a committee that is led by the councillor of the ward, and our officials will participate in that and make sure that the school as well, and then give the child a deserving funeral. It's quite sad indeed, and they really need to be assisted. And we have assured them. Our sister departments will also come closer. We normally have social development, during this time. And our psycho support has been at the school. They have started with the process of counseling, and we will extend that as well to the family, so that they are then taken through the process of counseling.
Thank you very much. The spokesperson for the Gauteng Department of Education, Steve Mabona, speaking about the support that will be extended to the Mnisi family as they grapple with this heartbreak of losing their 5-year-old son, Siyabonga Mnisi, a grade R pupil here in the school, but of course the community supporting the family as well. And we heard from the principal just the type of young boy that Sia was, and an unimaginable loss for this family. Michelle.
Absolutely. What a heartbreaking story. And to think that he would have graduated along with his classmates today.